Hi everyone, welcome to the next video in this series from Rita Berman's Europa book, and this is the fourth video, and we have this really sweet little basket of fruit colour. I think I'm going to start with the basket and then do the fruit. I'm going to start just putting a little layer of colour down. This is the raw umber, Polychromos pencils, the same as I've used throughout. And I think I want it slightly lighter at the top of the handle. Actually, I was just going to put a light layer across and then put in some other colours, but I think I'll just make it a bit more intense down there and a bit less up here, but I will grab another colour, another shade of brown in a bit. But you could just leave it like that. But now this down here is a little bit more complex. I am going to just put down a layer of colour and then see how it goes. Just had a lovely walk along the canal. It's going to be a bit warm today, 26 degrees, too hot for me. I know some people really like it hot, but not me. So we went out early. My husband actually left early for work because he had to put the car in the garage. It's making a bit of a funny noise. I think it's the brake discs or something, so it needed to be sorted out fairly quickly. And oh, I'm going to sneeze, hang on. Oh, sorry about that. Van Dyke brown. Yes, so he's got put the car in, so he left early, so pretty much as soon as he had left, we left. Took the boys with me. That is in the wrong place. I was trying to put it there, so I'm going to just erase that a little bit. I want these downward lines, the thinner lines, to be paler. There we go. Now I think I just need to sharpen this pencil. My sharpener's miles away. Well, not that far away, I could reach it. So let's try again. In here, that's where I want to be, and then just spread the colour in a little bit. So down here. Anyway, so yes, we went, my son said we walked for exactly an hour. I think we did about 2.5 miles, something like that, along the canal and back. It's quite sunny today, which I'm not a big fan of sunshine, but it was early. We had our sun hats on, and it's probably not that warm quite yet. Under the shade of the trees as well, it was nice and cool. And what did we see? Well, we saw a female mandarin duck. I think they're really pretty. The males are like amazing. Actually, I put that down, but I'm gonna pick it up again. So it's the Van Dyke brown, and I'm just gonna do a little bit here just to darken it a tad. But also under here, I'm thinking maybe where this line is, this may be the underside a little bit of the handle. I'm not quite sure if that's what Rita was trying to indicate, so I'm thinking it might be in the shadows. I'm fiddling a bit more now. So yes, we saw a female mandarin duck. She was very pretty. I always think, although she's grey and white, I always think her markings, she's got a little mask around her eye, and this is the dark sepia. I'm going to do these across bits. And we saw a heron in exactly the same spot as I saw the heron the other day when I walked with my friend. I think either it's a really good fishing spot or there's a nest nearby, but the heron was there. And we saw a boat, which was there were quite a few boats. There's some dredging work going on, so the sort of workers' boats, but we also saw a houseboat, which I've never seen on our canal before because it's, you know, newly restored-ish. So that was interesting. And the boat, it was on the far side to where we were walking, where there's not really a footpath, there's sort of a woodland. Sorry, we're moving about all over the place. Let's do, where should we go next? Should do the strawberry. What colour for the seeds? Black. I'm going to do black seeds on my strawberry. Black. So there was a sort of bit of a path from the boat up into the woodland. There were some bicycles under the tree, so I assume they left their bicycles there. And but they were fairly near a bridge, so I think they could sort of walk just a little way up through the woodland and cross the bridge to the footpath side of the canal if they wanted to. But yeah, I've not seen people there before. I'm trying to decide what colour to do the strawberry. I'm going to grab the deep scarlet red and have a go. Oh, I do need to tell you, I've joined Threads, which is the new sort of Facebook, Instagram, Twitter equivalent. Now, I'm experimenting a little bit on it, posting on it in the same, probably pretty much the same content as I post on Instagram. A good thing with it is, which other creators, I know some other creators watch my videos, is that you can post links that work. So on Instagram you can't, so you have to post something and say, oh, check my profile link to find a link to my YouTube and find my video, or you have to put the link in a story, and it's a bit cumbersome, unlike Facebook where you can directly link to a video. I want to do it more intense down here. I want it darker at the bottom. In Threads you can post links, so you can, it will, if you put a link to a YouTube video, it will sort of embed it into the post, and then if you click on it, it'll take you to YouTube to watch it. So that's rather good. But I don't know whether I'm going to stick around on Threads or not. I'm trying it out because it's new and seeing what's happened. But if it gets a bit toxic, which apparently Twitter is, I've never used Twitter because of that reason. If I find that I don't like it, then I'll leave, because I don't want to cope. I don't want any nastiness. I don't get nasty. I've had a troll one, but you know, nothing too nasty that I can't cope with. This is the dark red. I'm just going to I want to make this bottom bit just a little bit darker down here. So I'm just going to put a little layer of this one. So no, I've not had anything too nasty. And I think it was on YouTube actually. Someone's saying that my tips were obvious and simple and stupid, and my work wasn't very good, but you know, it's like, well, that's fine, it's all opinion, isn't it? This is the light cadmium red. You know, yes, for an experienced artist, what I'm saying is too basic, so yes, that's fine, but they were just a bit nasty about it, and it's fine. I'm not trying to do anything that's super complicated. That's not what my channel's about. Right, strawberry leaves. I never know. Are they dark? Are they really dark? Are they bluey green? Are they... I'm gonna grab this green. It's a bit of a tiddler. I'm just trying to look at what it is. It's the chromium green opaque. Okay. I think what we'll do with these leaves is we'll make them dark here, a little bit lighter in the middle and dark at the tips, so they might look hopefully a little bit shiny in the centre. We'll just try it. You can use any green. If you don't like this one. I don't know if this is quite the right green really, but we'll use a variety of greens through this picture anyway. I remember actually Johanna Basford had a troll on her on one of her lives. I think it was a Facebook live, sort of saying how stupid what she was doing was, etc. She didn't. She just ignored it, which is always the best thing, I think. These grapes, I always like doing reddish, pinkish, blackish grapes because they're much easier. I don't know. The sort of green grapes are really pale. I just don't have that colour. So I am going to start with this crimson for the grapes. and then go over it with something slightly darker after. I like to sort of put down a base colour of a pink and then go over with a sort of purple, and the pink can show through a little bit and make it look pretty. I also do this with things like cherries and blackberries. Now I don't know whether through here we would really be seeing the leaf or the more grapes. I'm going to colour it as if there's grapes behind, because if you think about a bunch of grapes, they're usually all on top of each other. Have grapes every day. I really like them. Red grapes. Apparently red grapes are really good for you. I'm going to try the magenta, I think. I think that might work. Yeah, I realised I could come in just a bit more. There we go. The thing that's healthy about grapes is the sort of skin and the sort of they've got tannin in, I think, which is healthy. So people who think that having a glass of red wine is healthy, it's just the grape. So just have the grape, and then your body doesn't have to deal with the alcohol, which isn't healthy. So I've got to wipe my nose for you. I guess I'm just not a fan of alcohol anyway, so I'm glad I don't have to drink it to get the benefit of the grapes, because I love grapes. I just don't like the taste of alcohol. My son had some the other day. They had a bit as children, didn't really like it. So he went to a party and his friends wanted him to try it, so they made him a little one. But it was a rum and lemonade, I think. So it wasn't the lemonade. He couldn't taste it. He just enjoyed the taste of the lemonade. And he was fine. He just had his friend made him a really little one, because they're kind to each other. They look after each other. And he said he'd been to the birthday party last year, and everyone got really, really drunk. But this year, being a year older, they got a little bit, but not, not stupidly. No one passed out or was sick or anything like that, like last time, which he was pleased about. He said it was much better. So, but yeah, he just had a little bit, and that was good. Drinking isn't healthy. It's there's no getting away from it. It's but if he just has a little bit at a party, it's fine. We all have our little naughty indulgences. It's just making sure you don't make a habit of it. I like the colour that's come out. The only thing is these little bits behind, I want to be slightly darker. I'm wondering if the red violet will work. I think it probably will. This is it, red violet. I'm going to sharpen it though, because they're really small areas. And then just in between, because it would be a bit shadowy. Oh, excuse me, a hiccup. I had an iced coffee just now. Yeah, I think that's all of it. And now the leaves. Now I think grape leaves are quite pale, but I don't really know, because we don't really grow grapes here in this country. I'm going to use the May green and keep them nice and light. I'm just colouring an even colour across them. Yeah, I read an article in the paper this morning. I look at the headlines. The BBC News website shares all the front pages of the papers, which is quite nice just to see what the different papers are reporting. In the UK, most of the papers support a certain political party and a few of them support a different one. and it's just interesting to see what stories they lead with and things like that, and it, you know, just to know what people might be talking about, you know, what the top stories are, that sort of thing. And one of them was leading with a story about food and how a study had been done into eating patterns. I want a little bit of shadow on the leaves. I'm just trying to choose a colour. I think this one might work. This is 173. It is olive green yellowish. Okay, oops. And it was saying how, although we've often been told to cut down, I'm just going to go along the edge here, cut down the amount of red meat and full fat dairy we have, that a big study had shown that actually it's worse for us to give them up than to eat them or something. And it said we should be having 5 fruit and veg a day, a certain amount of legumes or beans, some poultry, some red meat, some fish every day. I was like, how are you going to fit all that in every day? I was a bit confused. No, and surely people don't eat fish, poultry and red meat every day. But I don't know. I'm orange glaze. I'm a lactose intolerant pescatarian, which means I can't eat dairy, and I don't eat meat. I don't like it, but I do eat a little bit of fish, but not every day. Maybe once or twice a week. So, and also I'm sure that I've read studies saying that we should really be having 10 fruit or veg a day, not just 5. A lot of countries have a much higher. In the UK they say 5 a day. In Australia they say 10 a day. But they're apparently here they say less because they think people can't think that 10 a day is too many and they couldn't possibly do that many, so they don't try, so they make it a more realistic lower number, is what I had was led to believe. So I don't know, but I certainly have a lot of fruit and veg. I have 2 portions of fruit with my breakfast. Now I'm thinking these leaves here, if they're like orange or satsuma, clementine leaves, whatever, they're usually quite dark and waxy. So I'm going to use my pine green for these. And do them in the same way as the strawberry, so we've got a bit of shine. So just colouring in the tip with lots of layers and then fading it. And then starting at the bottom with more layers and then fading it. So I was a bit confused by this article, but so I didn't know. I mean, it might be that maybe people who eat that sort of thing don't have so many sugary foods, which, you know, aren't good, but I don't know. I wanted to look into it. I need to find it because it quoted the journal that it was in, so I was going to have a little read of the actual research, which is quite hard to do, I have to admit, because even, I just realised I haven't done the stem of the grapes. You probably noticed this here. So I've grabbed the May Green again. Yeah, reading research is quite difficult. The language isn't always easy to understand. You can't always get access to the articles either. This one I think is a pear. Not very keen on that circle. I'm going to colour over that because I'm a rebellious person. I'm going to use the Venetian red a little bit. I like doing a pear with a little bit of red on. I think it looks nice. Like that. Just start to fade it. Like that. I think it just makes it look more interesting. I would never eat a pear that colour. I always eat the green ones. But this is the earth green yellowish, I think. Yeah. We're going to do it dark up here. That's it. And then fade it down towards that brownish colour and just sort of mix them up in the middle. I think health advice is really difficult because we get so many conflicting stories, and we also have to look very carefully at who's funding the research. This is permanent green olive. Because there's certain big food companies want us to eat their food. They want to tell us that their food is good for us, etc. It's really difficult. And even doctors tend to seem to be influenced by these companies, you know. Now, what's that? I am thinking, is that 3 bananas? The edge of them, and they're going into the basket. That's how I'm going to colour them. I have got no idea. I'm hoping that if I colour them in, this is the Naples yellow, looks a bit orangey in my screen. I'm going to start quite lightly. I'm hoping if I colour them like this, they'll look banana-y. My yellow looks like it's got a bit of orange in it, which is okay because I'm going to put a little bit of brown on these. I'm only gently adding the colour because I'm not sure. I'm a bit unconfident in how it's going to look. I'm going to grab this walnut brown to do a little bit of brown. Bananas usually have a bit of speckledy brown on them. I'm hoping that's made them look like a banana. Oh well, I've done my best. Flower. We could go with any colour. I was thinking it was a strawberry flower, but it doesn't need to be, does it? Let's have a think. I'm thinking a deep violet, like our mauve would look nice. So I'm just going to sharpen that up. Here it is, the mauve. Now I'm thinking darker down here and then lighter towards the tip. Give our flower a little bit of shape. Just over colour here. So yes, with health advice, it's hard. I think we know in our heart of hearts that sugary food is not good for us. That foods with lots of different ingredients on the list with names that we can't pronounce, it can't be good for us, can it? We know that cooking from scratch is going to be better, but the convenience of it and the taste of it makes it very difficult. I was interesting actually, a friend of mine was commenting on a post on Facebook, and the post was from a shop that sells plus size clothing, and the photograph was of a plus size model, and someone, nasty troll, had said, oh, we shouldn't be showing people of this size because it just normalises this, and you know, it's wrong. We shouldn't be trying to encourage people to think that it's okay to be big, dark chrome yellow. That made me very cross, because as someone who at the moment is a healthy weight but has struggled, I know that it isn't at all easy. It isn't the fault of the person one little bit. This is cadmium yellow, dark cadmium yellow. I think there's a lot of reasons why people can be overweight. There's medical reasons, could be physical health, mental health. It could be genetic. It could just be because they don't know what to do, or they don't have the time or the money. There are so many reasons. This is permanent green. And to just say, you know, that it was just so rude. I think we need to do more to help people there's lots of things that need to be changed and done. We need to have, I personally think we need to have a tax on unhealthy foods and use that money to subsidise healthy food. So, you know, tax the biscuits and the cakes and the sweets and the chocolate and use that money to make fruit and vegetables cheaper. You know, that sort of thing I think we need to do to help people. And to, we are trying to teach it in schools a little bit, but schools have a limited amount of time they can spend on teaching these sorts of things. They've got so much to do. I want a darker green in there. So that's my thought on it. I think I would never blame the person. I think, you know, there's so many, it's deep cobalt green. It's also, you know, there's sort of habits and things you grew up with. You know, if you've always grown up having a pudding or having lots of food at happy occasions. Another thing, you know, if you grew up in a family where if you didn't eat your share right away, someone else would eat it, it can cause you to eat perhaps more than you should and things like that. It's just, there's no easy reason or solution to it. So I think we need to just be more mindful and more kind. Also, fat shaming someone is only going to make their mental health worse, which could cause them to eat more. You know, this is a white Posca Pen, PC1MR, and we're going to do some shine. We didn't do that last time on our ice cream cone, but we're going to do it. I want to do it on here. Now the grapes do have black marks drawn on them, which we could use, but actually I've decided that I'm going to, yeah, they're in different places. I'm going to do all mine on the edge. I don't know why I tend to always do them on the left, but that's just me. Here we go. Now I'm going to do some dots on my flower. Why not? It's not a realistic looking flower. We've got these dots actually. I might just cover those. I'm not sure that the pear and the oranges would have a lot of shine, but the strawberry would. And I'm wondering, I'm going to put a tiny dot on each of these seeds because the seeds are really shiny often on a strawberry. If they're black, if they're yellow, they're quite dull. It's very odd. Or maybe you just can't see the shine because they're yellow. But I also want to put a shine line here, like that. And I'm wondering, do we do it on just a small one on here? I don't know. Whether, I put my hand down on the pencils and my fingers are a bit warm, they stuck. There. I think that's enough. If I fiddle-faddle more, it's going to be a bit too much, but there is our basket of fruit. I just want to pick up one of those grapes and eat them. Tasty. I'm not so keen on the oranges, but yeah, that's quite big strawberry, I'm just thinking. Anyway, that's me for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a super day. Enjoy some tasty fruit and happy colouring.